So as Hillary Clinton is brushing aside the email controversy, Bill Clinton is stealing the spotlight. Laureate University signed Bill Clinton to a $17 million deal. It was a 5-year contract. It ended in 2015, according to the Washington Post. Although there is no evidence that Laurie received favors from the State Department, the relationship is sparking concerns. Charles Ortel is a financial whistleblower. That's a lot of information. This is something that you have been talking about for a while, and now finally others are picking up on it. Break it down for us in a very, very basic sense. Laureate University is a for-profit online and in-person university, right? And what were they paying Bill Clinton for?
In theory, they were paying Bill Clinton to be chancellor for part-time work. $17.5 million over 5 years is a tremendous amount of money for part-time work. And while he's a smart, well-connected guy, that number just is way more than the individual executives at Laureate were paid.
It's also a conflict of interest. I mean, not only were there emails that went back and forth where, you know, they asked Hillary Clinton to seat the president of Laureate University in a high-profile spot and bring him to things and that sort of thing and sort of help fluff up his credibility. There's also a conflict of interest within the foundation where there was a separate financial joint venture between Bill Clinton and Laureate University, which calls into question the legality of all of it, right? Explain that to us.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very unusual to have a not-for-profit, the Clinton Foundation, enter into a joint venture with a for-profit entity, Laureate. But that's exactly what happened starting in 2007-8 timeframe, where the Clinton Global Initiative, and I have my own problems with that, I don't think that was legally organized, entered into the subsidiary of the Clinton Foundation, entered into this joint venture agreement, and it was involved running something called CGI University, a very small thing. If you look through the filings of the Clinton Foundation, the size of CGI University is minuscule compared to the $17.5 million that Bill was pocketing.
Yeah.
And that amount of money that he got is not disclosed in the Clinton Foundation filings.
When I try to break it down for people, what's really wrong with this? Because they go, the email doesn't prove pay for play. There are two big things here. I mean, one is the fact that they're using a foundation, a charity, to profit. And they're not paying proper taxes on that income that comes in. They're acting like it's this foundation that does all this great work, but in reality, they're doing this conglomeration with Laureate and all these other things that's putting millions of dollars directly into their pocket, which has nothing to do with charity. I mean, Laureate University is a for-profit online college like Trump University, only much bigger. There's nothing charitable about it. People go into great debt for this, right? Isn't that one of the big problems, is the mixing of the charity and the non-charity?
Absolutely, and you're supposed to deal with this conflict, you're supposed to have independent trustees. They've never had independent trustees. You're supposed to have an independent accounting firm check all this work. They never had that. So you won't find this information on the Clinton Foundation tax forms, even though they claim they cured all their problems November 16, 2015, for 2010 forward. And that's not true.
It's not true.
Absolutely not true.
Because that's one of their big things, is that they're back on Charity Navigator and Charity Watch because they provided all the tax documents and everything's okay now.
See, that is another ruse. If you go back to the financial crisis back in 2007 through 9, everyone said, well, I've got a AAA rating. That means I'm okay. Charity Navigator and Charity Watch are very small organizations, easily gamed. And there's a good article on that subject about Charity Watch. It's a tiny organization which derive benefits.
And in the end, the other big problem with this, obviously, is that they were using their influence at the State Department to give Laureate clout and to bring him along, when really it's this very questionable ethical situation where you have a for-profit university, very expensive, providing classes online that may or may not be of value, and people going into debt for that. It's a tangled web. We're out of time, but we'll have to have you back. Thank you so much, Charles.